What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Herc the Soulful, and today I'm here to talk about episode 9. There's a Reddit post that's been floating around. It came out a day ago or so, and it's pretty much talking about he's read an early script of episode 9, and he gave us a couple of spoilers. And he also linked us to a Reddit post he put out 2 years ago where he gave us spoilers for episode 8, and I must say that although it's not completely accurate, you can see how the ideas add up to what actually happened in the movie. For example, in his post he says Del Toro will play a bounty hunter. Well, we know that not to be true, but he also says Del Toro will betray the crew in order to collect a bounty or a fee. That actually did happen. Del Toro did betray the crew. He also mentions the Las Vegas of the Star Wars galaxy, which we seen Canto Bite, and he mentions that Kylo Ren will kill Snoke out of fear of being replaced. Something like that did happen. So like I said, I'm not saying that everything he said is correct, but there are some key specific points that he made that came true. So I'm not, like I said, in this Reddit post, I'm not saying everything he said is actually gonna happen, but there could be some things we can take out of it. There may be some truth to it. I'm not saying there is, but it's fun to read it and see what we can get out of it. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna read it, tell you what I think may happen, tell you what I think will never happen, and I'm gonna put the link in the description below so you can read it. And remember to like, share, subscribe, and leave your boy a comment. Show your boy some love. So here we go. They start off the post by saying they know a million of these kind of posts come out every day. So he posts his old Reddit post to show you that there's some truth to what he's saying. After that, he breaks down the posts by plot A and plot B. So I'm going to read plot A, then I'm going to read plot B. Y'all know how this goes. So here we go. Plot A would progress like this. 5 years after The Last Jedi, the Renaissance is no longer centralized, and it is not a popular idea among the galaxy. Kylo Ren's rule over the galaxy is seen almost as benevolent. Many within the Resistance itself are questioning why they should even be fighting. Not surprisingly, Rey, Poe, Finn, and Leia are still holding fast to the idea the galaxy should not be under Imperial rule. They are tipped off by a mole inside the First Order promising that if they follow their lead, they will discover the horrifying true nature of the First Order. The tip leads them to a planet in the unknown regions, and they must infiltrate the First Order command station to extract a young female alien prodigy who is the key to navigating these regions. After a successful rescue of the girl, who is essentially a prisoner of the First Order, they discover a planet entirely comprised of an ocean. Beneath its waters, it's the secret to the First Order unlimited resources, an ancient manufacturing station literally powered by the populations of conquered worlds of the unknown regions. The entire plot A revolves around liberating the captives before they are exterminated and exposing these horrors to the galaxy at large. This plot is resolved with the unknown regions becoming united and preparing for war with the known regions. The B plot revolves around Kylo Ren hunting down other Force users in secret using the Knights of Ren and trying to discover the mole among his ranks. At the end of the film, it's revealed Hux is the mole and trying to get the galaxy to revolt against Ren's empire and believes he can claim the throne after the fallout. Many Force users have sought out Rey for protection, both really young and really old. Rey and Kylo still converse through the Force and can even manifest their whole presence in front of each other. It is slowly revealed they secretly love each other. The big reveal in the film is that one of Rey's students is actually her child, and Kylo becomes so enraged upon finding this that he nearly kills Rey, who is only saved last minute by Leia. As with the last time, I will add the disclaimer that this is an early storyboard, but the heart of the film is there with secret love child and the theme of the Empire thriving but at a terrible cause. You can expect the story to play out very close to this. Okay, so let's break this down by plots. So we're gonna start with plot A, obviously. I like the 5-year time skip. I didn't like the fact that episode 7 and 8 was only like a few days apart. I've seen some people say that it was a few hours apart, but I think that was one of the horrible things that episode 8 did. Is it was the time skip was very confusing, because with the Resistance and the First Order, I feel like it was a couple of days. With Rey and Luke, I feel like it was a few hours. So I couldn't really tell. But with this, we get a flat out 5 years, so that's good. With Kylo Ren being the ruler of the galaxy, I have no problem with that. I think it's a little weird that he's regarded as a benevolent ruler, but that's nothing major. I like that there's a mole. I like that Hux is the mole. I think it'll be weird if Hux became submissive under Kylo like he was under Snoke. It's obvious that Kylo and Hux don't like each other, so the fact that Hux is still going behind his back and still, being underhanded, I like that. So the mole thing I like. Now, the very interesting thing about this post, and the thing I like the most about this entire post, is Hux leading them to an alien girl who leads them to the unknown regions, to a planet that's ocean based, and under the ocean the First Order has enslaved millions of conquered aliens, and they use them to build their resources and stuff. And I think this is very interesting. It almost kind of reminds me of something out of KOTOR, and that is the Starforge. And the Starforge, for those who don't know, is something that was built by the Rakatans. They use millions of slaves to build it, and what it is it's like an automated shipyard, and it draws energy from nearby stars, and pretty much it builds anything that the Rakatans needed: ships, bases, weapons, all that. So episode 9 having an ancient station that's being powered by conquered populations really reminds me of that, and I like it. It kind of draws from legends, and this would be a great time to make Revan canon. I mean, I can see it now. They break into this base and they're hiding amongst the population, trying to get a feel for the place, understand where the place came from and what it is, and all that. And one of the older members of this population tells them that, it was a station built by the Rakatans and it was used by Darth Revan. And, I could see them using this situation to bring Revan into the story. I mean, I doubt it would happen, but this would be a great chance and the perfect time to do it. And episode 9 will need this hype. They need this hype because they need to do something, because the way it's looking, that theater might be empty. But all in all, I have no problems with plot A, liberating captives off this unknown planet and a big battle in the unknown regions. That sounds hype. I actually like this. I've seen a lot of people saying this sounds boring. I don't know if we read the same story, because if we just looking at like a base, like a storyboard, this sounds hype. This sounds like it can be really good if done right. JJ really gonna have to put his foot in this, and we can't have Kathleen Kennedy putting her agendas in the movie. And I'm not saying that the film should be strictly fan service, but I do think the episode 9 team really needs to listen to the fans and try to figure out what it is they need to do to make this a good movie. And so far, in my opinion, plot A, the storyboard for plot A, sounds like a good start. Now plot B, on the other hand, is where I and everybody else in the comments has a problem. So we got Kylo Ren, and he's using the Knights of Ren to hunt down other Force users. I have no problem with that. We really need to get the Knights of Ren in this film. So if this is the case, I have no problem with it. And we have young and old Force users running to Rey for protection. Now, I've seen a lot of people have a problem with this, and I can understand why. So I wouldn't have a problem with this if the young and old Force users are just regular people who can use the Force. Now, if the young and old, especially the old Force users, are actually some Jedi that escaped Kylo Ren's massacre, and they were trained by Luke as well, but they're still running to Rey for protection, I'll have a problem with that, because we already have a problem with Rey seeming overpowered and her coming off as a Mary Sue. So to have trained Jedi run to her for protection when she just became a Jedi kind of seems weird. But again, if the young and old Force users are just regular people who can use the Force and have no training, this will make sense. I can see how this works, and it makes sense. And here's an interesting thought. What if one of the older Jedi that's looking for Rey is one of Luke's old students that happened to escape Kylo Ren's massacre, and they're looking for Rey because they understand that Rey is a catalyst of the Force, or maybe Luke came as a Force go and told him that she was a catalyst and she needs her training continued, or Yoda or somebody, and they go looking for Rey because they understand that she's a catalyst and they understand how powerful and the potential she has, and they're looking to team up with her so they can defeat the Knights of Ren and Kylo Ren. Now that would be interesting, but to have trained Force users run to Rey for protection, I think that'll just give fans something else to complain about and something else to cry about. So let's try to stay away from that. Now the next part doesn't even make sense because it says Rey and Kylo still converse through the Force, and they have this whole relationship kind of thing, and they secretly love each other. Now that doesn't make sense because at the end of The Last Jedi, we can see Rey and Kylo look at each other for the last time, and then Rey shuts the door, and I thought that symbolized Rey shutting her connection to Kylo. So to have them still connected will kind of just take away from what was already set up in the last film. I mean, I get it, Rey was developing feelings for Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren was developing feelings for Rey, and they had this emotional connection and they had this bond, but I thought it was delivered pretty straightforward that Rey wants no part of Kylo Ren and she believes that he is unredeemable. So to have in the next film those two be in love and they have this secret kind of love affair, that'll be stupid. But hear me out. Rey no longer wants to have anything to do with Kylo, but Kylo still has feelings for Rey. Now I think that might be fire, where, you know, Kylo can't seem to let Rey go. You know, Rey is trying to defeat the Empire, the First Order, and she wants nothing to do with Kylo. She just wants to defeat him, but Kylo is still trying to connect with her, still trying to talk to her and stuff, but she wants no part of it. I think that'll be good, and I think that'll really be good for Kylo's character development, because as we've seen, he's going down the hole. Like, he's spiraling out of control and he can't handle his emotions right now, and he's just falling deeper into darkness. So I think something like that will really show us how far he's fallen, and it will play into the next part of the post, which, if it doesn't go my way, it wouldn't make any sense. The next part is Kylo Ren finds out that Rey has a child, and he becomes so enraged that he almost kills her. Now, most people interpreted this as Rey and Kylo was smashing on the low and she got pregnant and didn't tell him. That's not how I got this. I interpreted this as, yeah, now by what the post says, Rey and Kylo still have feelings for each other, but Rey had a baby by Finn. Now, I automatically assumed that the baby was by Finn, and Kylo Ren found out that Rey and Finn had something going on, and he became super jealous. So if we put my idea and this idea together, I think it'll be a good movie where, you know, Rey wants nothing to do with Kylo, and she's been building a life with Finn, and while Kylo is still obsessed with her and still trying to connect with her, he finds out that she and Finn not only are together, but they have a child, and this infuriates him, and he almost kills her. I think this would be a good movie because it'll really show how far Kylo has fell into darkness. But I think it's safe to say that 98% of the fandom does not want to see a Reylo baby. So let's just try to avoid the Reylo baby. Like I said, I wouldn't mind if it was a Finn Rey baby, but I don't want a Reylo baby. Okay, so that's plot A and plot B. Now, after reading the comments, I see that pretty much no one likes this idea, and I think everyone's being a little biased and they're being a little closed-minded, because I think plot A is fire. I think plot A is a great idea, but no one likes plot B, and that's understandable. Another problem that a lot of people have been bringing up is, okay, if this post is true, how does this tie in the trilogy? Because the way this post is going, Kylo Ren is never redeemed, and everyone else has been, I guess, interpreting that the films are leading to Kylo's redemption, and I never got that. The way I've been seeing the trilogy is Kylo is falling deeper and deeper into darkness, and his only redemption would be in death, sort of like how Jason Solo did in the Legends comics, where him and his sister battled, and it was only in his final seconds of life he realized the error of his ways, and he allowed his sister to strike him down. Now I can see something like that happening, where Kylo and Rey are in a final battle, and he realizes that what he's been doing is wrong, and he allows Rey to defeat him. But for him to be totally redeemed and join sides with the Resistance and Rey, I think that'll be a little cheesy. So I don't want to see a redeemed Kylo Ren. So to the people asking, how does this post tie into the entire trilogy? Like, how does it bring everything full circle? I interpret it as the actual things that are happening around Rey and Kylo aren't necessarily part of the plot. Like the whole raid on Starkiller base, I mean, it's part of the plot, but it's not the main. It's not the meat and the potatoes. The chase in space and the Canto Bite and the battle on Crate. Those, I mean, yeah, they're part of the plot, but they're not the meat and potatoes. The meat and potatoes of this entire trilogy is the relationship between Kylo Ren and Rey. And in episode 7, we got the beginning of their relationship. In episode 8, we got the middle and the climax of the relationship. And in episode 9, I see it as the end of their relationship. And the perfect way to end, quote unquote, their relationship is to have someone die. I think that'd be a great way to end this trilogy, because again, the trilogy isn't about Starkiller Base, it's not about Crate, it's not about the Resistance, and it's not about the First Order. It's about Rey and Kylo and their relationship. It's just like the OG trilogy. Yeah, the OG trilogy had the Death Star, and it had the second Death Star, and it had the Battle of Endor and all this other stuff. But the main thing that the OG trilogy was about, it was about Luke and Vader. Same thing with the prequels. The prequels had the Jedi Order, and it had the Rise of the Sith, and it had all this other great stuff. But the main thing that the prequels was about Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I can see the new trilogy being similar. But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But this is how I view each trilogy. Like, yeah, it tells a story, but each trilogy is always about two people. Luke and Vader, Obi-Wan and Anakin, now Rey and Kylo. This is how I see it. This is how I interpret it. And I don't think I'm the only one. But on to the next point. I see Leia is the one that saves Rey from Kylo, and Leia is with the crew when they invade this ocean planet. I'm very, very sure that this will be changed. They will probably use the 5-year or however long the time skip is. They will probably use that time skip to kill off Leia. But I don't know. That's just a guess. Whatever they do, I hope they do it. I hope they do her right. I don't want to see Leia's character played as someone else. I don't want to see Leia's character in CGI the entire film. I mean, no disrespect to Carrie Fisher or her family, but I hope they kill Leia off. Again, no disrespect, but without Carrie Fisher, I think the character is done. I mean, of course the character will live on forever. You know, we have the stories, but as far as someone playing Leia, I think the character is done. And I think out of respect, they should just kill off her character. But again, this is my opinion. I've seen a lot of fans want Future's twin sister, Meryl Streep, to play Leia. And personally, I'm not a fan of recast. I don't like when they recast characters like that. But I can understand it in certain situations, like with the Solo film. They found a new guy to play a younger Han Solo. And I've seen some people say, well, they should have just got Harrison Ford to play him. And I'm like, Harrison Ford is old. No disrespect to Harrison Ford, but the nigga old. Well, they could have used CGI to make him look young. Like, shut up. That's stupid. That's stupid. So with this situation, I don't mind a recast. But with the Leia situation, I don't think a recast is needed. I think the perfect thing to do is to just kill off Leia. Again, no disrespect to Carrie Fisher or her family, and this is just my opinion. But overall, as far as the whole storyboard goes, I really like plot A. I hope they keep the ocean planet with the enslaved population. under the water, working in an ancient facility. I really hope they keep that in there. Like I said, it reminds me of KOTOR. As far as what I don't like that Kylo Ren's rule is seen as benevolent. I think that's a little weird. It's kind of off-putting. As far as plot B goes, I'll only like it if it plays out a certain way. Hux being the mole is cool. Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren hunting down Force users is cool. Young and old Force users running to Rey for protection will only be okay if those Force users are untrained regular civilians that need help. But if they are trained Jedi that used to be under Luke and now they're running to Rey, I think that would be trash. And Rey and Kylo Ren still having a connection through the Force, still having feelings for each other, still being secretly in love, I think that's stupid and it's confusing and it throws away everything that was set up in the previous film. But if Kylo was the only one to have feelings and he still had this possessive nature and he was still like kind of obsessed with Rey in a way, I think that'll be cool. It'll make for an interesting plot. But as far as them having a secret love affair going on, that's stupid. I don't like that. One of Rey's students being her child, I think that'll be okay if it's Finn's child, but if it's Kylo's child, then the entire movie is already trash. And we don't need a baby Reylo. Please, 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 do not give us a baby Reylo. And we need Kathleen Kennedy to keep her fingers off the film. We don't want her input. We don't need any of her ideas. I feel like we should just let J.J. Abrams do his thing because I think he can make a good movie. Like I said, you don't need to do exactly what the fans want you to do. Like, we don't need this to be a fan film or a fan fiction, because I like fan fictions, but fan fictions are usually pretty predictable and they usually play out pretty boring. So I don't want a fan fiction film, but JJ, you need to keep your ears to the street. Find out what's good, what's bad, and here's a secret, man. For the most part, people are going to hate this film no matter what happens. You can make the best Star Wars film ever, but as long as it's episode 9 under Disney, under Kathleen Kennedy, people are going to hate it. So just do you. And if this storyboard is true, keep plot A. Plot A sounds fire to me. I don't care what nobody say. Plot A sounds like it has potential. Plot B, you keep working on that storyboard. And with that said, it's the end of the video. Remember to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell me what you think about the post. Tell me what you think about the video. Tell me how you think the movie should go. At the end of the day, I think Disney knows that they need to pull out all the stops to make episode 9 a good movie, and I believe that they're going to try to do that. But that's just me being optimistic. I'll talk to y'all next time, man. Peace.